Here Comes Darrel. That's the name of this book for you guys. Here Comes Darrel by Leda Schubert. This page says winter. The thermometer reads 2 below zero, and it is snowing hard at 4 a.m. But Darrel, is ready for work. I'll be home for breakfast, he says to Judy. I'll make eggs and home fries, she promises. The main roads will be cleared by the town snowplows, but people with long driveways will be trapped without Darrel. His old truck starts on the second try, and Buster jumps into the front seat. It's so cold that Darrel's nose hairs freeze. As he pulls away, he notices his barn roof sagging under the weight of the snow. First, Darrel plows out folks who must get to work early. Porch lights flash in thanks, and he blinks his headlights back. His stomach growls as he glimpses a neighbor making breakfast. By 7 a.m., he has plowed 21 driveways. The truck radio blares, all schools are closed. Good thing, right, Buster? Buster barks. The roads are too slippery for school buses. The Hart's driveway is so steep and narrow that there's not much room to dump the heavy snow. As Darrel lowers the plow, the rear wheels slide off the road. He rocks the truck back and forth to get unstuck. And the back end swings, the tires swirl, the engine whines, and the back end swings closer to a ditch. Come on, Darrel thumps the dashboard. Come on, baby. And the truck jumps forward. Phew. Buster almost falls off the seat. At the house, Tommy Hart waves. Mom says, come have coffee. Tell her thanks, but I've got lots more driveways. Can I help? For a minute, Tommy climbs into Darrel's lap and they plow a hill of snow. Oh boy, Mom and I can go sledding, Tommy jumps up and down. She'll like that, Darrel says. He turns toward the 23rd driveway and begins to think about Judy's fried eggs. This chapter is called Spring. That's what comes after winter. It's 40 degrees when Darrel finishes loading his dump truck on a spring morning. Winter weather hangs on forever in northern Vermont, and the air still smells like wood smoke. Since dawn, Darrel has been splitting logs. The Barretts had run out of firewood and called him in a panic. We don't know when we'll be able to pay you, said Mrs. Barrett. That's okay, said Darrel. Keep those kids warm. Sounds like a lot of people count on Darrel. Just before Darrel leaves, Judy calls, don't forget about our barn roof. Looks like a good wind will blow it right off. Darrel picks up Buster. I'll get to it soon, he says. Can you see the barn roof? Do you see holes in the roof? I do. Can you see a bird feeder? With some chickadees, maybe? I knew you saw it first. Mud season has arrived, and the dirt roads are like chocolate pudding. Not to eat. Mud. Ugh. The truck hits a rut and shoots sideways, sinking into a hole at the bottom of the Barrett's hill. Darrel and Buster wade through the mud up to the house. Looks like I'm stuck, he tells them. We're coming, said Mrs. Barrett. The Barretts and their two kids, David and Beth, help Darrel unload the wood. Oh my gosh, they got it all loaded in the truck and now they have to unload it to help him get unstuck. I'll be back for the truck, Darrel says. That evening when the ruts freeze, oh, so he got to the house, he unloaded the wood for them. But he has to wait until those ruts freeze again. It's too mushy. Judy will bring him over on the tractor and they'll pull the truck out. We'll drive you home, Mrs. Barrett offers, but come in first for some apple pie. No time, but I almost forgot these. He hands carefully carved birds to David and Beth. Will you teach me to whittle? David asks. Oh, Beth asks. Sure. When his own kids were little, Darrel taught them to whittle. Do you know what whittling is? Whittling is carving with a knife. You have to be very careful when you whittle. Beth grins, and I'm going to learn to carve a dog, just like Buster. It's, summertime. It's 85 degrees, and the black flies are biting when Darrel starts his backhoe. The Murphys are building a new room, and Darrel is the excavator. Judy reminds him about the barn. Winter will be here sooner than we think. It doesn't look that bad, Darrel says, but it does. Do you see the roof on the barn, what they're talking about? That roof's looking worse and worse. The backhoe is a large machine, but Darrel is an artist. If a hammer drops on the ground, he can pick it up with a big bucket as if he's using tweezers. He begins scooping and moving a big load of earth. The Murphys arrive as he finishes digging. Andy Murphy throws a ball to Buster, and it flies into the hole. Buster jumps in after it and can't climb out. Sorry, Andy cries. Don't worry, Andy. Darrel swings the bucket around, and he gently picks Buster out of the hole. You folks interested in a pond over there? Darrel asks. He points down the hill. It'll be great for frogs and birds. I want frogs, Andy says, and his parents nod yes. The Murphys hear the backhoe for the rest of the day, and the next, and the next. Every day, Andy brings his frog net and watches the pond fill with water. Autumn. It's 50 degrees and the wind is fierce. When Darrel, Judy, and Buster climb into the old truck on a brilliant October day, they are off to visit neighbors and to see what everybody needs before winter. Judy keeps a list. What about our barn, she asks. Tomorrow, I promise, Darrel says, and he means it because soon the cows will have to come inside. Some people need to have their driveways fixed. Some need firewood. The wind picks up and the list grows longer. Tree branches crash onto the road and Darrel holds tight to the steering wheel on a gusty hill. Now I'm worried about that roof, he says. And when he gets home, the barn roof is gone. Darrel slams on the brakes and jumps out of the truck. Buster runs in wild circles. They hurry to the barn where the Harts and Barretts are trying to take measurements. Mr. Murphy greets Darrel. We saw it go and rushed right over, he explains. We're going to have a roof raising, says Beth Barrett. Darrel looks embarrassed, so that Mr. Murphy says, You've helped us over and over, and we are happy to help you. That's what happens when you help people. When you help people, then you might need help later, and they are happy to help you because you helped them. That's why it's always good to help people. Mrs. Hart leads Darrel to the table. We brought over some supper. Come and eat. It's getting dark outside, but inside it feels as if the sun is shining. Beth Barrett, Andy Murphy, Tommy Hart, and Tommy Hart bring Darrel and Judy heaping plates of stew and pie. And everybody is safe and sound, even Darrel and Buster. That's the end. Darrel is a busy guy. Hope you like the book. Love you guys. Mwah.